I thought Samoa Joe was the clear standout on the show. He was incredible. Every time Samoa Joe is put in the spotlight in this company, he proves why he is an all-time first-round draft pick. The guy is incredible. He is one of the, and you know, he really stands out in this current era of wrestling where there's just so much inauthenticity. Is inauthenticity a word? Right? There's so much inorganic bullshit in pro wrestling these days, like I talked about on Flagship Plus yesterday, when it comes to NXT, which is this fake, plastic, inorganic, inauthentic bullshit fucking wrestling show. And you get a lot of that on WWE's main roster too, although it's not quite as bad as NXT. And you get some of that in TNA now, although it's not quite as bad as NXT. Nothing's as bad as NXT. But let's not fool ourselves, okay? We get it in AEW too. And you know how you know that? Because sometimes it's obscured, sometimes you don't realize it, but then Samoa Joe cuts one promo, one 60-second promo, blows away everybody else on the show, and you're like, oh yeah, holy shit, that's what pro wrestling is supposed to look and feel like. What Samoa Joe just did. The guy has an authenticity and a I will fuck you up energy that breaks through the walls of kayfabe and jumps right off the screen. You believe in Samoa Joe. And I know this is completely irrational and it makes no sense. And I'm not saying that they should do it, but maybe they should just belt this guy up. Fuck it. He's so great. And I know he's not going to draw. And I know at this stage of his career, nobody's going to turn on the TV to watch Samoa Joe every week. And I know at this stage of his career, people aren't going to run out. I was going to say to Ticketmaster. Does Ticketmaster still exist? No one's going to run to their phone or their tablet or their laptop to buy tickets to go see Samoa Joe in droves. I know it's irrational. I know you can't do it. I know at best he's a transitional champion, a role he was great in when they put the belt on him for a few weeks there a couple of years ago. But fuck, this is what I want in my pro wrestling, and I know I'm not alone. I mean, this dude has been buried in a trio, carrying around an irrelevant set of titles, basically just being a run-in guy, coming in to clean house on the Death Riders for months on end. And as soon as they program him with the babyface world champion and biggest star in the company, he comes across like the biggest badass in wrestling. And you buy it and you believe it. And wrestling doesn't have enough of that. I said the same thing about Brock a couple of weeks ago on the Flagship. And I know nobody wants to enjoy Brock right now for a variety of reasons. Okay? Well, really one reason. But, you know, you get the idea. No one wants to enjoy Brock right now. But I have to call it like it is. Brock brings an authenticity to pro wrestling that's severely lacking. And that's the same vein. That's what we saw from Samoa Joe last night. We need more Samoa Joes in pro wrestling today. And this isn't specifically an AEW problem. They're hardly the worst offender. Although we were graced with puppets again last night. We were treated to whatever the fuck the Bucks were doing at the top of the show last night. Whatever, you have to live with it. Unfortunately, that's what pro wrestling is now. It always has been in some ways. But here's the thing. It's, you know, as I pointed out with NXT, who are the worst offenders, and of course WWE, which is a complete lost cause. But you've got All Japan with their pop and light. You know, it's like it's everywhere now. Now WWE has their dirty little tentacles in Mexico, and they've done what they've done with AAA. You could argue it's an improvement, but it's more of the same. But like Samoa Joe just immediately he cuts a promo, and you're like, oh shit, that's what pro wrestling was meant to be and what should be.